What ho, everybody. Ian here with a little blog chat update from the Model Railway Room as I search for inspiration to get myself back on the hobby horse for the, well, basically my entire participation in the hobby. Emotionally still a little bit fragile after the destruction of the Coil car the other week. It's strange, isn't it? You know, we get ourselves so emotionally involved in our hobby, and and it seems like model railways are a hobby that really gets people emotionally involved. You know, you can't spend more than you can't go a week on a Facebook group or an internet forum without somebody somewhere getting upset about something that somebody says about their participation in the hobby. People will storm off in a huff and leave forums or just get involved in flame wars, and it seems to happen with monotonous regularity. And you know, we're all artists, so we all get very deeply personally involved in what we do. So when somebody takes issue with it, then, well, we do get upset, and that's when things happen. So yeah, I have been in an attempt to get myself back into some enthusiasm for what I'm doing. I've been looking through my selection of Coil car photographs because I've always been fascinated by Coil cars ever since I saw my first ones when I arrived in the US. And I mean, if I was to go through my selection of HO scale stock, I would find I've got more Coil cars and rail boxes as well, more than I would care to admit. I mean, I've got a couple here. This lovely little Coil Shield car, Conrail Coil Shield car. That's from Exact Rail. That's just one of them. Then I've got this absolutely beautiful fine detailed Norfolk Southern Protector car. That's just gorgeous, that one. And so yeah, I've just always been fascinated by Coil cars, and I've got lots of pictures here, and I've been going through these looking for something to kickstart my interest in what's going on. I mean, I've got this pictures of a Reading car here, rusty old Reading railroad car that you know, Reading Railroad ceased operation, I don't know when, but these rusty old coil covers are still on cars today. Seems like I've got plenty of photographs of CSX cars and Union Pacific as well. I do have this rather remarkable picture of an almost brand new Coil car that was built by West Rail for the Union Pacific, and it was when I don't know when I saw it, but it was built in like December 2012, and I photographed it in May of 2013, so it wasn't even 6 months old. It was still bright, sparkly new, almost pristine paint. So that's a beautiful car. And there's another one. I do have pictures of these Protector cars as well at the railway line outside where I worked, and so I got plenty of cars to choose from. So if I'm emotionally gutted at dealing with the South Shore car, then maybe there's other railroad cars that I could deal with. I mean, there's one that I've got a picture of that I absolutely adore, and that is a car that's covered in graffiti, and it's this one. It's a CSX car, and I just find the level of graffiti on that just absolutely stunning. The quality is fantastic, and unfortunately I only managed to get a picture of one side of this car, so I'm going to have to go on the internet and see if I can find out what the other side of the car looked like. But you know, that would be just like beautiful to like paint up and redo. Maybe this might be the key to getting me started, because yeah, I'm quite fascinated by that one car. But I have plenty of other pictures of old cars, brand new cars, and so maybe there's something in there for me. I don't know. Things still leave me a little bit cold because I've been working on this. This is my Loco Remote Tiny Pet, or whatever it is, and so I mean, I got this far, and yeah, I'm just, I don't know, it's things just leaving me cold at the minute. So anyway, I found something the other week that I thought was really quite fascinating, and sent me right down an internet rabbit hole. And that was, I found a picture of some street running in Huddersfield, and it was a line down to the Huddersfield Gasworks. Short coal train being pulled along the street by a, don't know what it was, Ruston or something like a shunter, a short wheelbase shunter. And I thought, oh, this is rather interesting. So I went online to do a bit of research. I found out that the gasworks, the gasometer was still standing in Huddersfield. So I went to our favourite friend, Google Earth, and I pulled it up, and here it is. I mean, there's one remaining gasometer in Huddersfield. You can see here that this area to the right, that used to be gasworks as well. Now, what happened here was the railway line came down this street here, across this, I don't know whether it's the river or a canal, but if you go into aerial view, and if you go into street view, aerial view, and you look in, if you look in here in the river, you can actually see here that this is where the railway line crossed the river or the canal. I think it's the River Colne, and so it crossed over there and came into the yard. And if we take a good close look in the yard, we can actually see railway lines. If I go to 3D mode and navigate around the area, you can see that the line comes in here, curves around the gasometer, and then comes around all the way around the gasometer. And there is a, let's just go back into 2D view, where you can see that there's a turnout, a point here, and then the line goes a little bit along that way. I'm sure it probably went further in the past, because that's not very long. And then you've got a building here where there's two more sidings go into this building. So this looks like a remarkably compact site. It's quite interesting, and this has caused me to do a little bit more research. And I looked online, and I went to one of my favourite mapping sites, which is the Library of Scotland, which has an archive of old Ordnance Survey maps, and I managed to find the Ordnance Survey map for Huddersfield for this gasworks, and it gave me a track plan of the railway in this yard. So that's quite fascinating, that you can actually pull these things together. So I looked at this, and there's slight differences, because, well, this photograph was taken a few years ago and the Ordnance Survey map was from 1930. So yeah, things could have changed, but the basic idea of the track plan is still there. So it's quite an exciting thing to look at. And this is the great thing about something like Google Earth. You can, if you really know how to look, and you can pull research strands together, you can really find some really interesting stuff out about this. Now, would I want to model this? I mean, honestly, I don't really know. I mean, how big is this gasometer? I will tell you how big this gasometer is because Google Earth will let me do that. You know, here we go. I will select the start point for my distance, and then I will check over the other side of the and it was 220. It says I measured 220 feet. Actually, I went online, and in my research I found out there was actually 215 feet. So that's still pretty big in model railway terms. I mean, 215 feet in it was gonna be out to like 3 feet in diameter in 4mm scale, thereabouts. And I also I've checked it out in TT, because that's the new scale right now in England, TT, and it would be about 22 inches across, and in N scale it would be 18 to 20 inches, I think. So it's still a bit yeah, I mean, that's a bit. It would be a big structure, so, but it's something for somebody to think on, perhaps, maybe. You know, it's quite the remarkable structure, and because I don't think I've seen a decently sized gasometer before, but the fact that this is actually here, you've got plenty of research material to work with, because you can, like I say, you can go into Google Street View and you can check all the way around the outside of the building. Look, you can, because you've got these lock-up garages here, you can see here that the whatever this structure is in the yard, it's actually a considerably above street level. So that's cool, and you'll be able to check the building here. You might even be able to work out measurements for the structure sizes here, so through that. And I mean, we can, of course, using our measure feature, we could indeed measure the size of the yard. Let's take an arbitrary point there. I mean, the yard is like about, that says 314 feet. So deep, and what's the where it might be the widest. Let's go there, and we'll go across here. I mean, it's 350 feet. I mean, it's a small, compact size. It's even in real terms, and if you, with some selective compression, perhaps using set track to make the curves around the gasometer, I mean, it might be able to do it in even smaller. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know if I want to do it, you know, because my interests currently lie in larger scales, but it's certainly, I think it's certainly something that is worth somebody paying some attention to, and it would be a very interesting model. You would be able to, I don't know, you'd be able to model like people would be able to get around it from three. You could do 3 sides of it, perhaps. I don't know. It's a remarkable setup there, and it's very compact, and could certainly be done. I could certainly see it fitting into the micro layout ideal, and it might be worth somebody working at it with one of those track planning software things. I don't have one, but something to think at. Does it kind of like fire me up with excitement, wanting me to get things going? I don't know, but it's a remarkable setup. So anyway, I just discovered it, and I thought I would share it with you because it's definitely an interesting sort of locale. So yeah, so that's it. Huddersfield Gas Works. Yeah, so maybe you might want to think about that, something like that. A gasworks railway. I mean, obviously it's very compact. Might be something to think of. So maybe I'll think about it. Not sure. So anyway, so just wanted to get in touch with you and reach out and let you know I'm still alive, and we will talk to you again soon. Oh, and micro model railway dispatch update. When it never rains, but it pours, they say. I'm currently having some computer problems, so the micro model railway dispatch is going to be a little bit delayed while I sort that out. So anyway, take care everybody, happy modelling, and we will talk to you soon.